Hey there! In this video, we're going to quickly look at drafting a strong topic sentence about theme. And so we're going to be looking at a version of the prompt you are in order to keep our ideas nice and fresh. So in this prompt, we're going to answer both Little Red Riding Hood and Beauty and the Beast comment on human society and how we respond to fear and crisis. Yep, you're right if you're thinking that looks familiar. It sure does. Same thing, different text. I also know when I'm thinking about my topic sentences that I'm going to do my first body paragraph about text 1, my second body paragraph about text 2. I also have decided for this one, it's easier for me to start with my topic sentences and then my thesis. Of course, that order doesn't really matter. You can start with the thesis first if that's your preference. So my criteria for success is that it includes my title and author. It identifies the theme or universal message. And I know in my topic sentence, I need to be able to name my craft move as well. So I'm going to start here with the theme part because sometimes themes just kind of intimidate me. I know a theme is a big idea or a lesson. So I have a few different ways I might start this. I might start with a subordinating conjunction such as when people are afraid, comma, they blank, or if people feel their safety is at risk, comma, blank. Or I might start with a big idea and because, but, so. And so, y'all, these are by no means the only sentence frames you may use or only ideas, but they are some that help got my brain juices turning because they all deal with fear and crisis. So I'm going to start off by thinking about Little Red Riding Hood, my first text. And in that, the thing that really jumped out to me about fear is that scene at the end when Little Red Riding Hood shows up at Grandma's, and Grandma is obviously a wolf. And yet she still, like in her mind, continues to believe that Grandma, this is her grandma, because I think she's scared. And it's easier or safer for her in that moment to trust what she knows instead of like facing the fact that there is a wolf that has probably killed her grandma. And so what jumped out at me in this was this idea of clinging to what you know, even if it's not for your own good or the good of the community. And so when I generated my theme, I started to keep that in mind. Like, we will cling to what we know because it is easier than facing the truth. Or we will cling to what we know so we don't often see the truth, even if it is right in our face. And my next step from there is that I'm going to take that, because that's a great theme or big idea. I just need to put it into a sentence where I'm also identifying my text and naming my craft move. And so in that particular case, what jumped out at me was this idea that it's her dialogue. But Grandma, what big eyes you have. But Grandma, what big mouth you have. And also her actions of continuing to engage with her even before she's about to get eaten. So here's how I put that together. Again, I have my in Little Red Riding Hood by, I don't know. Author uses dialogue to reveal that when we're scared, we'll cling to what we know, even if so we will sometimes trust things that we shouldn't, or something to that effect. All right. So I took that idea, I played around with it a little bit, and here was my final verdict. In Little Red Riding Hood, author uses dialogue and character actions to reveal that we cling to what we know when we're scared, but this can lead us towards ignorance. Okay? Again, played around with it a little bit, but that's same thing. For me, and you might work a little different from you, I start by finding my theme, really thinking about what this text is teaching me about fear and crisis. Then I take my next step of adding my craft move and my author into the mix. And then I draft that into that strong sentence. So for my second text, here's what I came up with. See if it meets the criteria for success. In Beauty and the Beast, yes, Disney uses character actions to develop that when people are afraid, they will attack anyone that is different than themselves. Cool. Even if the threat is only in their minds. I added that little piece at the end for some snazzy effect. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. This resource, if this was helpful for you, is also linked up here in your document as a guide under the Build a Theme tool. Thanks for tuning in.